What exactly management is? Management is an art of getting things done through others efficiently and effectively. Management is concerned with policy implementation, but administration they go with policy formation. Management is always goal oriented. Why a management is that? Because there is some goal. To reach that goal, we are doing or we are managing people so that they can get the work done. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for the first unit and the first session. Here in the first unit, what exactly we're going to deal with, we all will go understand what exactly Introduction to Management is all about. In Introduction to Management unit, what all gonna come and how is that we are supposed to go with it. In the first unit itself, I'm gonna teach you the meaning of management, the functions of management, characteristics, natures, and the contribution of two great pioneers of management, that is F.W. Taylor and Henry Fayol. So let's start with the first session. The thing is the introduction. When we understand what exactly management is, why management is so important in the 21st century. The business is there, the rapid business change in the holistic market, why management is in need. I'm going to tell you, management is pervasive in the sense everywhere we need management. So what exactly management is? Management is an art of getting things done through others efficiently and effectively. So when we go with the types of management, what really happens here is we can reduce time if management is there. We can have discipline if management is there. We can be a goal-oriented organization if and only if the management is proper. So that's the reason management is very much needed in this 21st century. So here in the present era, that is right now, the increased global competition, rapid changes, as I told you, technology, changes in the business practice, everywhere we need management. That's the reason it is a universal process, it is pervasive. Next is management and administration. Now, always we get confused between two terms. What is management? What is administration? Are they the same or are they different? Now, Peter F. Drucker and Neyman, he understood management in a different way. They said both of the management and administration is the same. The only thing is they are interchangeable. Now, Newman and Peter Drucker, they said that there is no basic difference between two terms. That is, there is nothing called difference about these two. The only thing is the usage is different. Their phrases are different is what they said. If there is any difference, it may perhaps be their usage in practice is what the first view given by Newman and Peter F. Drucker. The term administration is used for non-business activities and management is used for business activities is what they said. Say example like you have schools and colleges where it is non-business. So you have administration. Now where you have this companies, private company or a public company, you have management. That is what they said to the entire world. So the next one here when we go is the definition of administration. Now what exactly the administration is? Now administration is a systematic process. That's why the first point here itself I have given you what? Systematic process of administrating the management of the business organization, an educational institution like school or college, government office or any non-profit organization, that is called administration. So the main function of administration is planning, that is to formation of plan, policy, procedure, setting up goals and objective, enforcing rules and regulations. So these are the things which administration does. Now, when we go with the difference between management and administration in the first syllabus explanation, I told you that there will be a question saying the difference between management and administration. You're not supposed to write only 5 points each, you're supposed to write 10 points each. So I have done a differentiation. This is how you people need to write so that you will fetch more marks. So first thing is basis, management, then administration. On the terms of basis, we will understand on what basis are they differentiated from management to administration. Say example now, meaning. I told you about the administration meaning. The meaning of management is what? Getting things done through others efficiently and effectively. So here what happens is an organized way of managing people. That is what the management is all about. The process of administrating an organization by group of people is known as administration. So when it comes to the other basis, what happens here is authority. Now management will have what authority? Administration will have what authority? When it comes to management, it is the middle level. Now we have 3 levels of management: top level, middle level, supervisor level. So the levels of management is always said and done with the nature and size of a business. So when it comes to administration, they're always in the top level. So management is in the middle level, administration is in the top level. The next basis when we go with this, the role. Now in the management, it is the executive who does that. Now when it comes to the administration, here we have the decisive type of authority which happens in the administration. Now in the administration, how the policies are formed, how the procedure is taken, how the plans are formed, in the sense it is concerned with what? If somebody asks you, management is concerned with policy implementation, but administration, they go with policy formation. So administration, they form the policy, management, they'll implement the policies. That is how you are supposed to go with. Next is area of operation, applicable to, work, and what exactly they focus on. When they go with the management, it works under administration. So administration is here, top level, management is here, that is the middle level. It has full control over the activities of the organization. When it comes to the next one, application, profit-making organization, that is business organizations, will be there in management. Where here what happens, the government office, military, clubs, non-profit organization, they comes under administration. When it comes to the work, putting plans and policies into action is what the middle level management does. And here formulation of plans and framing rules and policies, rules and regulation is done by the administration. And the last one here is focuses on managing work. They only focus on what? How the management should go with teaching people how to work, as well as how the people need to get the work done. But administration is what? Making best policy allocations of limited resources within a limited resources. You are supposed to plan everything and then go for it. That is what administration is all about. And next one we have is key persons. In management, we have manager. In administration, we have administrator. So decides, who will decide? So who will do the work and how will it be done is what the management understands, and what should be done and when it should be done, that is being given by the administrative authority. The represents, who represents whom? The employees who work for remuneration are there in management, whereas owners who get the return on the capital investment, they are there in the administration. The function, it is again the executive and governing, and here is legislative and determinative. So here the 10 organizational differences which I have given you, that is the administration as well as the management. This is how you people will fetch 10 on 10 if you write all the points here. Say example now here 1, 2, 3, 4 I have told you, 5, 6, 7, 8 I have told you, 9, 10, 11, 12. Totally I have given you 12 tables here. That is the basis on what exactly you are supposed to go. Go with the meaning, authority, role. It is concerned with areas of operation, applicable to work, focuses on, key person, decides, represents, function. If you go with 12 points, you will definitely get 10 points or 10 marks. That is how you will get 10 on 10. So don't be a person who will rate only 10. Go with all the 12. Very easy test, management and administration basis. If you write, you will get 10 marks. The next topic is nature and scope of management, where all the management can go with. So when we go with the nature, usually what happens is we get there are three natures of management: art, science, profession. When we go with the scope, we have multidisciplinary, dynamic nature of principle, relative not absolute principle, management, science or art, management has a profession. So all these are what the nature as well as the scope of management. When you understand the meaning of management, you will feel that management is not just an art of getting things done through others. It is also a science which makes you understand the cause and effect relationship. But it is sad that India has not attained professionalism in management. The reason being, even now we need more people to have specific and specialized knowledge so that they can do so many good things in the different organization or MNC company which are there in India. So we will predict that at least in the coming years, management will definitely reach professionalism. So here we have the next nature and scope of management, where we have management is intangible. You cannot see management, but you can definitely feel it. You can't touch management, but you can actually feel it. Next is management is always goal oriented. Why a management is that? Because there is some goal. To reach that goal, we are doing or we are managing people so that they can get the work done. Coordinating and crucial part of society. For any society to grow, to have a very good standard of living, to have your professional growth or organizational growth or social growth, one should always go with management. They need to understand what they are supposed to do. Importance of management. What are the importance of management? Why management is needed in the organization? Why the 21st century always says that the better, the best. That is what they always go with. We have all sorts of companies. We have different organizations. We have a lot of competition. But which is a company which will definitely flourish? The best company with the best management skills and ability, they are the only people who are going to flourish and give productivity for the organization, as well as they'll have more profit maximization and wealth maximization. That's the reason we need management. So here, optimum utilization of resources. If your manager is good, he will not waste any resources. He will not waste any raw material. He'll always go for optimum utilization of any resources. That's the reason management is a need. Competitive strength. Now, who and how will you actually go with? So when it comes to competition, say there are two companies, company A and company B. How is that they're gonna grow? Now, A as well as B have the same capital. A and B have same employees, but A and B have different management skills. Now, who will withstand the competition is anybody who has a good management skills, they will beat the competition. Cordial industrial relations, effective management, achievement of goals, because it is goal oriented, change and growth. See, whenever there is a change, there is a contingency, you are supposed to have a management wherein you need to act according to situation. You need to understand that the entire business is uncertain. When business is uncertain, we cannot predict what's going to happen, but we should always prepare for the best. So that's why in management, there is a person who says that you need to prepare for the worst, but you need to predict for the best. So predict for the best, but prepare for the worst. And next thing is improve standard of living. Through management, one can always enhance the standard of living. Ensure smooth functioning. If management is there, there will be a smooth function, that is a managerial functions will be very smooth. So we already know that there are these functions of management. That is, we have planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. So we have these functions of management. So when planning is done, next step is your organizing. After organizing is your staffing. After staffing is your directing. After directing is controlling. Again, you have one more plan. So it is always a continuous process. So if management is proper, there will be a smooth function. It reduces the turnover absenteeism of employees as well as laborers. A good management is one who can manage their employees properly. They need to always have performance appraisal, motivation factors so that they can actually work for the organization. So that's very, very important to the management. It brings stability and prosperity. See, anywhere you have the stability, that is, it should reduce absenteeism. So if absenteeism is reduced, stability is there, that is when you will have expansion of business. The more and more people will work for you. Example, we have Twitter. Now, what really happened after Elon Musk took over Twitter is the thing which you people need to understand: was the management proper, or Elon Musk did not do the proper management? 50% of employees were thrown out of Twitter. That is a different scenario where you have in US you have recession. But what exactly they could have done? They could have done in a different way. They could have actually done in a beautiful way. Now, people whoever wants to join Twitter, they'll at least think twice or thrice that will I get a job in Twitter? That is the first thing. Will I sustain in Twitter pressure because Elon Musk just put a message or put a tweet saying that people need to work extra hour. So those are the skills which anybody says, that means you'll understand there is not a proper management. So stability won't be there. Ensure effective use of managers. All the CEOs always aim to get the best of the best managers. But in Twitter, the CEO of Twitter was thrown out. The managers were thrown out. Now the question to the other people, whoever are working in Twitter, will their job be stable or it won't be stable? Elon Musk always feel that it should be only his brain which should work, and other people, whoever are there as an employee, they should only listen to what he says. If that type of management happens, you will not utilize your managers effectively as well as efficiently. That is what the bad management is all about. So we have the functions of management. What exactly the functions of management says is, we have 5 functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. There are 2 internal functions of management. We call them as coordination and communication. Without coordination and communication, you cannot plan, you cannot organize, you cannot have staffing, you cannot have directing, or neither you can have controlling. So they are called internal or interrelated functions of management. Now, when we go with this planning, what exactly planning is? Planning is a future course of action which bridges the gap between what you are and what you want to be. Now, planning always aims at one thing, that is goal. How to get that goal, how to frame an objective. So those are the things what planning does by the top level management. Followed by the organizing, where organizing means bringing together physical resources, manpower planning, and finance to accomplish the desired objective done by the top level management. That is, whatever you have planned, how to achieve that, and to achieve that, what all is required, you are bringing it together. That is called organizing. When it comes to staffing, right person for a right job at a right time. When you select that we call that as staffing. You need to select people who can get the work done for you. Say example, you plan saying that 1 lakh rupees I need to earn every day. So for that, planning is done. Organizing to achieve that. What is that you are supposed to do? Everything is brought. Who are the people whom we can actually feel that they are the people who can achieve it? That is what staffing is. The next one is directing. What do you mean by directing? Guiding. See, the person who directs, he always gives something called guidance. That is what directing is. Guiding, motivating, supervising the employees and giving them the direction of what they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do. That is all called directions or directing. The last one is controlling. Now here, what exactly the controlling happens here is, whenever we have planned, we have organized, staffing is done, direction is given, but still we need to see to it that whether our employees are doing the things what we have already told them to do it, or are they got any deviations. So what is controlling is comparing actual performance with standard performance. If there is any deviation, rectifying the deviation, that is called controlling. So these are called the functions of management. The next one we have is characteristics of management. Now, what are the characteristics of management? Characteristics of management will definitely come for 10 marks, or it can also come for 15 marks. The chances are more for 10 marks rather than 15 marks. So the first one here is management is always goal oriented. It is pervasive, universally accepted. It is multidisciplinary or multidimensional. Continuous process. Management is always group activity. It goes with dynamic functions, change according to the situation you are supposed to be with. It is intangible force. It is what? Intangible force. So these are the points which says it has the characteristics. I always go with one more trick. How exactly you are supposed to remember is, we have GIRL, girl. So how is that you will go with? The first one, G, in the sense, management is always group activity. Management is what? Group activity. The second is I, in the sense, intangible. Management is what? Intangible. Intangible. R, it reduces time. Management reduces time. Reduces time. TIME, done. Now L, in the sense, if you go with it, that is, it is in the fourth one, G and L. If you go with G and L, goal oriented. What is it? Management is goal oriented. The next three, COP, COP, COP. What is a COP, COP, in the sense? If you do any harm to any girl, the cop will come and catch you. That is how you are supposed to go. This is called the ACT, Abhilash Chandra tricks. So when you go with these kind of a thing, now C, in the sense, management is always continuous process. O, in the sense, optimum utilization of resources. And P, in the sense, management is pervasive. Pervasive. So this is how you will remember the characteristics. You can write this or you can write this. You can actually add both, then you will get 10 points or 10 marks. Next we have is levels of management. I told you the levels of management is always compared with the nature and size of business. So the business is big, you have a lot of levels. The business is small, you have less levels. But usually whenever we go with levels of management, we have this system, that is, we only go with 3 levels of management. The first level is called the top level. Then we have is middle level, and the last one is called supervisory level. Supervisory level, or it is also called as lower level or operational level. So top, middle, supervisor. In top level, what happens is we have all the people like CEO, CFO, managing director, board of directors, and other people, whoever will go for the planning. The second level we have here is, we have all the managers. All the managers are the one who actually comes here, managers. Like you have HR manager, finance manager, they are the people who actually manages the entire work. And the next one, that is the last level, that is called supervisor level. Though it is not the last level, it depends on nature and size. Now here we have supervisors, clerk, inspectors who will actually check whether the product is good or not, and other clerical people who will be there in the supervisory level. This can come for 2 marks as well as 10 marks, where you are supposed to go with top level management. It is also called administrative level management. Evolution of management. When we go with this evolution of management, why people need to understand this is, management was there even in Mesopotamia. It was also there in Egypt civilization, Indian Mohenjo-daro, Harappa civilization. We had so many other civilizations where management was there. But we go with the broad spectre, that is 4 movements of the classic era, which we can say. The first one is called the pre-scientific management. Before scientific management, how management worked, that is before 1880. Second, we go with classic management era. That is where you can see that Henry Fayol 14 principles, F.W. Taylor scientific management is put into practice. The next one is neoclassic. That is the next version of classic was neoclassic, where you can actually go with the Abraham Maslow theory, X and Y theory, Z theory, Alderfer theory, all those management theories you can actually learn here. And the last one here we have is modern management. That is, till now we follow the modern management, but right now, guys, there is one more era which has come, that is post-COVID era. That is not in your syllabus. So these are the four things which you people need to understand what really used to happen, how people were treated, how management were different from the 1880 eras till the 1950 and onwards, how management became a prosperity and how management led to get more profitability in the organization. So we'll understand the principles of scientific management first, that is the pre-scientific and the post-scientific, what exactly happened. Now, here there was this person called Frederick Winslow Taylor. Now, Frederick Winslow Taylor is a person who gave the scientific management. He's a person from USA, a great analytics professor who knew something about the scientific approach will definitely give a cutthroat competition for each and every management if they go with it. So he has given you four principles. That first one is science, not rule of thumb. So never get confused with the rule of Fleming rule or the thumb rule. Don't go with those kind of a thing. Now his is a very simple one where he says you need to always understand how things happen. You should not go with your intuitions. You should always go with the scientific data. That is what science, not rule of thumb. He says in an organization there should be harmony, there should be brotherhood. Only then people can work together as a family. So he says harmony, not discord. The next one he says is there should never be individualism. There should always be cooperation. So he says cooperation, not individual. And the last one he says is, this is the beauty of scientific management, wherein he says, never compete with anybody, you need to compete only with yourself. That is what he says, development of each and every individual to his or her greatest efficiency. See the beauty of Frederick Winslow Taylor, what he says is, if you want to make profitability, don't think about your gut, don't think about your intuition, think about the science, the fact. The second, he says that if you really want to work together, it is never the I, it is all should be we. We should always replace I with we. It should always be like, it's not me, it should be we. So he says harmony, not discord. Cooperation should be there. Everyone need to work together. If somebody is there who is weak, you are supposed to be with him. Take him along with you. Cooperation should be there, not individualism. Never say that it is what I did it. It is always we all did it together. Without we, I am nothing. That is what he says. And the last one is, the beauty of the beauty is, we need to grow to the maximum. So sky was a limit, but he says sky is not the limit. You should reach even after that, right? That is what he says. And the next is we have general management, that is given by Henry Fayol. Now Henry Fayol was from Ottoman Empire. Right now it is called Turkey. Henry Fayol says that there are 14 general principles. With those 14 general principles, if you go with it, you can actually have a better management. So first he says that in the 14 principle, anybody who comes to the organization, please don't give them big work, give them small work so that they will learn. So that's the beauty. What he says is, give them division of work, give them authority and responsibility. Definitely they will go for a disciplined life. So division of work, authority, responsibility, then comes discipline. So if you go with those three, there should also be something called as unity of command, unity of direction, and that process of unity of command and unity of direction, that we call it as scalar chain, where people will understand whom they are supposed to report. So you have unity of command, unity of direction, and scalar chain. He also says that there should be a subordination of general or individual interest to the organizational interest. That is subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. And he says that only when you give fair remuneration to your employees will work with you. If you start exploiting them, they will definitely leave you and they'll go and join some other company. And the next one here we have is, he says that in an organization, they need to follow centralization as well as decentralization, where you need to give powers to few. There are some times where you are supposed to give powers to many. Centralization as well as decentralization. So he says there should be contingency, act according to situation. And next he says is what order you should have. You should have equity. You should have something called as, this is very, very important, stability, initiative, esprit de corps. So these are the 14 principles which he wanted everybody to actually manage, knowingly or unknowingly. Even in a small company or a small business firm or a partnership, people are using general management. So I want you people to understand all the 14 here properly. Now we'll come once again, we'll brush up the topic of 14 principles. The first one here is division of work, authority, responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination, fair remuneration, centralization and decentralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure, initiative, and the last one is esprit de corps. He was a French guy, so he has actually given us last one. It's all about the French, that is esprit de corps. That means work united. If you are united, nobody can do anything to you. He says unity is strength. That is what Henry Fayol says. So anywhere you have any confusion regarding this entire chapter, please do ask us. We're always there, student. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.